Join me as I try to explain binge eating in the simplest way possible. Can I make it easy to understand? Binge eating is one of those topics that's often swept under the rug, yet it's a common struggle that affects millions of people around the world. It's an issue that's deeply connected to our mental health and well-being, and it's high time we started talking about it openly and honestly. When we think of binge eating, we often imagine someone devouring an entire pizza by themselves or gobbling down a whole bag of chips in one sitting. But the reality is far more complex and emotional. For those who struggle with binge eating, it's not just about the food, it's about using food as a coping mechanism to deal with overwhelming emotions, stress, and anxiety. It's about feeling like you've lost control over your eating habits, and that food has become a source of comfort and distraction from the chaos of everyday life. For many, binge eating is a vicious cycle that's incredibly hard to break free from. It's a pattern of behavior that's driven by emotional cravings, impulsive decisions, and a deep-seated fear of failure. When you're stuck in this cycle, it's easy to feel ashamed, guilty, and embarrassed about your eating habits. You might try to hide it from your loved ones, or pretend like everything is fine, but deep down, you know that something is seriously wrong. It's not just the emotional toll that's devastating, the physical consequences of binge eating can be just as severe. From digestive problems to weight gain, and from lethargy to anxiety, the effects of binge eating can be crippling. But what's even more heartbreaking is the way it can rob you of your self-confidence, your self-worth, and your ability to enjoy food and social gatherings without feeling anxious or ashamed. So what drives someone to binge eat in the first place? Is it just about emotional triggers, or is there something more complex at play? The truth is that binge eating is often a symptom of deeper psychological and emotional issues. It could be a response to trauma, abuse, or neglect, or it could be a way of coping with stress, anxiety, or depression. In some cases, it might even be linked to environmental factors, like the pressure to conform to societal beauty standards or the constant bombardment of food ads and social media. Let's be real, we've all been there at some point or another. We've all had those moments where we've felt like we're stuck in a rut, and we've turned to food as a way of coping. But what if I told you that there's a way to break free from this cycle of shame and guilt? What if you could learn to approach food and your body with kindness, compassion, and understanding? That's the turning point we need to reach, the point where we stop beating ourselves up over our eating habits and start practicing self-compassion instead. Self-compassion is the game changer here. It's the key to unlocking a healthier relationship with food and your body. When you start treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you start to see that binge eating isn't a moral failing. It's a cry for help, a signal that something deeper is going on. And that's when the real healing begins. That's when you start to confront the underlying issues, seek help from professionals, and slowly begin to rebuild your relationship with food and your body. So what have we learned about binge eating today? We've learned that it's not just about the food, it's about the emotional struggles, the psychological roots, and the environmental triggers that drive us to binge eat in the first place. We've learned that it's a complex issue that requires compassion, understanding, and support. And most importantly, we've learned that it's never too late to seek help, to practice self-compassion, and to start building a healthier relationship with food and our bodies. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments section below. If you're interested in learning more about mental health or eating disorders, be sure to check out my next video on related topic.